All right, Coach, thank you very much. It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Detroit Lions and our home team. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line.
Ready. 125. Right there. 40's Mike. There's a party now.
On 1st and 10, Winston. They'll set up the screen to Barkley. The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up 2nd down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass, looked like it was coming together, looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
Ready.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. On the ground, this is Saquon Barkley. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. The 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 17 yards and a giant first down.
I'm not sure that this play was designed for him specifically, but they got through the progressions and got the ball to him. So, second catch on the drive. He may not be a primary guy, but they definitely want him involved, don't they?
Absolutely. This early, the opening drive, as you said, 2 catches. So, if they can get him going in the passing game, that should open up his running game, too. A first down carry for Barkley. And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
All right, D. Let's go. All right, D.
Winston. The catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 31-yard line.
And that was a heck of a shot right there by Jameis Winston. Boy, he has a superior right arm, doesn't he? You saw him play baseball.
Yeah, he's actually a switch hitter in baseball. Outfielder and then, of course, a very hard-throwing pitcher. That's translated well in the National Football League.
That it has. When he has to make that throw on a line, he's got plenty of arm to do it.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10, down at the 31. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Ready. Blue lady. Bandit. Bandit. Flip it, flip it, flip it.
From the gun, Winston. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes.
Oh, my goodness. Was that a defensive back that got to him with the pressure?
Oh, look at the former defensive back. You're all smiles up here.
I hope everybody can hear my smile on that play.
Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a 2nd and very long. Now Winston. He's going to look for Beckham in the end zone. And he's got his man. Beckham. Touchdown, Giants. Odell Beckham. 49 yards. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Aldrich Rosas on for the extra point. It's up, it's good, and the Giants have a 7-0 lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Ready? Mike, 54 Mike. Check, Mike, 54. Hey, Mike 7. 5.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down. Charles, already trailing by touchdown early. This offense, how imperative is it for them to get points out of this drive?
Well, they feel like they have to go ahead and match because of what was already on the board against their defense. But I think even more so, you just want to avoid 3 and outs. You want to be able to stay on the field for a little while, let your defense catch their breath a little bit, even if you don't score any points.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And this time he's got the hookup. It's complete. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 11 yards there, first down. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Give the sack to Lorenzo Carter. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Back to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that's caught inside the 30. And they do finally get him, but he takes it to the 25. A 51-yard gain. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how in sync was the quarterback in his center on that play? They saw the blitz, made the appropriate calls, got the line engaged because now they know there are going to be extra guys coming at the quarterback, so they got their assignments down pat and kept them away from him, and he's able to step up in the pocket and fire one now for a really good strike.
So that changes things in a big way. Now from all the way down inside the 30, here's 1st and 10. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Looking to throw. The quick slant caught. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. 3 yards is the gain that time, 2nd and goal.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
On the ready. 2nd and goal from the 1.
Kill. Out.
It's a quarterback sneak. Fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out. And this Giants defense getting off the ball quickly. They stop him behind the line again.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Maybe the first big test of the season here on both sides. This is 3rd and goal.
3 down, 3 down. Hey, check. 3 down, 3 down. Hey, wahoo!
After 7-0 on EA Sports. The Lions with the football here to begin the second quarter, as they'll see what they can do on 3rd and goal. An extra defensive back on the field here for 3rd and goal.
Hey, Orbit. 57's the mic. Rock 57. You ain't got nothing. You ain't got nothing. 57. Mike, 57. It's going to be a long day. It's going to be a long day.
Back to throw here. And he fires one that's intercepted. Read it well, and it's picked. Past the 10 to the 11-yard line, and that's where the return stops. That's not one that he's going to want to remember, but he had to get it out of the way at some point, his first career interception.
And if he's the guy that they think he is, he's not laughing it off, but he's also not going to let it affect him as the game proceeds. He's going to go back out there, still be the same confident kid, the reason that they drafted him, and go out and play.
They go play action here on 1st down. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down.
But one thing's for sure, when you've got a big receiver and you trust him downfield, you're going to give him opportunities to go up and get that 50-50 ball.
And he is a darn good big receiver. Unfortunately, that time didn't work out. Nice job defensively. Now Saquon Barkley. And he'll take this one only up to about his 13-yard line. After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Here we go, let's bring it. Let's go, let's bring it. Let's bring it. Let's go.
On 3rd down, Winston. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part. It got them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, and now zapped right back in the other direction. Call that a 46-yard punt with a net of 40 on the 6-yard return. And the Lions will take over. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that. I think that not only did he say that, but he also told him, let's put it in the end zone that it's supposed to be in, all right? The end zone we're trying to score. I know we're being a little bit facetious here, but the bottom line is take care of the football, and everything else should flow from there.
Quick lesson, never ask the play-by-play guy a question.
Hey, you're my partner. I know you're right there with me.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
I got. Hey, watch out. Check Mike 54. Mike 54. I'm coming after you. Right there. 54. Right there. 54 Mike. It's just me and you.
2nd and 6. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe you want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive.
50 seconds, right. 55, 50 seconds to Mike. Ready?
On third down, he'll drop to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. O'Shane Ximines drops him for a loss of 12, and it also brings up fourth down. Here comes the Lions punter now. Back deep, the former All-Pro Tyler Lockett. This is away and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines. And it's out of bounds. Now we'll see what the side judge says. He says out at the 8-yard line. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. First down, Giants on a pickup of 14.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
They'll run with Barkley. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
On the draw, this is Barkley. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming.
Ready? Flag, what is that? 51. Danny.
Winston from the gun on third down. Flushed out right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's fourth down.
I'm laughing to myself because I could just hear in film session. But, Coach, I was throwing it to Odell Beckham Jr. Of course I thought he was open.
They'd love to go deep downfield to him, though. Such a threat.
Yeah, a rare incompletion because most of the time we expect him to actually come up with the catch.
That's pulled in at the 32. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And things haven't started so well for this side. 2 drives, 2 punts.
So now you've got to start looking not just at play calling, but which guy's going to step forward and say, okay, let's get this thing done. Because within that unit of 11, sometimes one guy can make a big-time play and break through the barrier.
Let's get it.
At the 45-yard line.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9.
Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4. What we got?
2nd and 9 now. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and they're going to face a third down.
And the big guy catches the ball out of the backfield, and oftentimes that's quite a surprise to the guys playing defense because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, it often works when they decide to dial it up.
Five in the secondary now for the Giants here on third. They'll look to throw. Screenplay, Johnson. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. A short gain there of just 4, and that'll bring up a fourth down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend.
The Giants take over first and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. So from the 36 now, first and 10. Barkley. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Back at the 33-yard line.
Ready, blue ready. 40's Mike right there. 40's Mike. I'm coming for you.
Now on second and 13. Winston. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 45-yard line.
First down. First and 10
Ready,
at the 45-yard line.
no chance.
Winston now to throw on first down. Flush to his right. Finds his tight end Ingram. And he'll get nothing out of that one. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play.
40 ready, blue ready. Let's go, man left, man left. 4 down, check. Let's go.
On second down, here's Barkley. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. And they'll need to get to the 35 if they want to keep this drive going on 3rd down. To throw is Winston. Trying to get it to Beckham, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 26.
Don't go this way.
They'll take over first and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Likely time for just one final play, and then it'll be off to the locker room to talk about how they can erase this deficit.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people look at it and go, well, maybe you take a shot here. Maybe you get some momentum going into the half. What's the flip side of that? You do something crazy, quarterback gets hit.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend, as we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Okay, Coach. Appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. That's fielded in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line.
At their own 21-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up.
First down.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Now Johnson. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3.
Hey, lock it.
Back to the ground. This time Cook. And they go backwards here. Losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down. Another example of just a dominant performance by this defense.
Yeah, you hear all the time about teams that try to steal signals from the other side and try and learn their signs and their tendencies. It's almost like they got the answers to the exam the night before and were well prepared for this final.
And 5 in the secondary now for the Giants on 3rd down.
Check like 33. Check like 33. Get in the weight room. Get in the weight room. Mark, check 33. 33. Me and you all day. All day. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. Hey, check like 33. Check like 33. I'm coming for you, son. I'm coming for you.
They'll set up a throw. And he will find his man on the end route. Complete. And they're going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 38-yard line.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Ready?
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Walk time, walk time. Tight end right, tight end right. Hey, Alpha. Hey, check my get it.
Running from the gun, Johnson. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll make it 2nd and 12.
At the 40-yard line.
Ready. Mike 57. Squeeze, double.
Here we go on 2nd and 12. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. So very close to a turnover there in the end zone.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man. And you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
4 down. Hey, Delta. Ready.
Now back to throw. He'll rifle this one deep right side. Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off with great anticipation. And he will bring this all the way up to the 30-yard line. 3rd and long that time. He was trying to make something happen, but a little too risky.
Well, the field tilted on him. And what I mean by that is what you said. 3rd and long. Got to push it downfield to try and pick up the 1st down. Defensive backs live for this situation, and they took advantage of the young man right there.
Now this pass into the hands of Saquon Barkley. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
At the 29-yard line.
Ready. Blue 80. 40's Mike. Come off the ball.
Now it's Barkley. And not much. Maybe a yard up to the 29.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. Well, the screen gets 7, but it's not enough, and it'll be 4th down.
They dialed up the screen pass on 3rd down, and for a second it looked like it was all going to come together, and they had a chance to pick up a 1st down, but the defense got there and finished it off.
Here's Britton Colquitt now as he's on to punt for the Giants. 46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. And this will be taken at the 13. Almost outkicked his coverage there. 48-yard punt, but 10 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
And now the drive starts with a completion out to the right. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. 2nd and 5. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
Now, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Here's Johnson. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. Sheldon Richardson there to make the play. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
Check 49, check 49. Hey, exit.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. They'll set up to throw. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. It's a gain of 14 and a 1st down for Detroit.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a 1st down.
Nothing in that first half, nothing on the last drive, but they're moving now with a 1st and 10. Now Cook, he's got it off the draw, and he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down. Hate to say it, but that play typifies what we've seen from this offense all game long.
Yeah, don't you think maybe you flip over your play sheet as the offensive coordinator and see the side that says try something different? You know, because this has not worked all game long. They continue to try and get it done. They've got to come up with something a little bit different. Try something special, something they haven't seen.
Anything to score a point. Here's a quick hitch route and the throw complete. We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Just week 1, but already plenty of intrigue with the games going on, and this one no different as we come up on a 1st and 10. They're going to look to throw. He'll let this go for the end zone. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. 2nd and 10. Now they go screen. It's complete. He's got the 1st down here inside the 30. 12 yards there and a 1st down. Even though this offense doesn't have a single point to its name, they're not totally out of this game yet. A touchdown here, they could be in business.
And how about that last play? Now they've got momentum going. So, you know, I'm a big advocate. Get back on the line of scrimmage. Throw another play at them while you've got them rocked on their heels.
The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. Open man is Galladay, complete. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. The catch and run there, good for 16 and a 1st.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag, because when you do, you just put the ball on him and then let him run.
Yeah, he's got some space.
Here we go. 18 Gator. Hey, 2. Check my 33. Check my 33. Ready?
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. It's caught. And he's brought down. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Hate to see this. Week 1 of the season. We'll be back. A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7, but first things first, they need to score as they come up on 1st and goal. And trying to push forward, but he is going to be stuffed up in the backfield. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
At the 2-yard line.
On 2nd and goal, Cook waiting in the backfield all alone.
Go, go. Check my 33. Check my 33. Come on. You better bring.
2nd and 2. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Nothing doing there as the 13th play of the drive proves to be unlucky.
They may be snapping the ball near the goal line, but all you're thinking defensively, keep them out of the end zone. Force the incomplete. completion, force him into going for 3 and not giving up 6.
This is 3rd and goal. And this Giants defense, they have withstood the test thus far.
Hey, high 7. Check 33. I got him. Hey, check line 33. Check line 33. 3 buzz. Hit it.
They'll look to throw here. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. So it's been a long drive. They've held the ball for quite a while. Now what do you do here?
Well, to me, at this stage after this drive, this close to the goal line, 3 points would be a letdown. I'm going for it here.
Likely the play of the game here, trailing in the final quarter and going for it on 4th and goal. They run. It's Johnson. And nowhere to go. He's going to be stopped behind the line. Johnson kept out of the end zone on 4th down. And this shutout is going to continue as the defense holds again. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Their defense forced the turnover on downs. They've got the lead. They're in good shape, but can't go into a shell here, right? Still got to be careful.
Yeah, because they're still a long way away from kneel down time. So you got to work on getting first downs, keep the sticks moving, right? Keep the clock going, and above all, ball security. Don't turn it over.
At the 7-yard line.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Here I come.
Again, it's Barkley. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 20. A gain of 13. It's a first down. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Save. No.
A toss out to Barkley. Now Barkley stripped of the football. But I believe the Giants got this back and they will hold on to the possession.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down.
Come on, switch it. Come on.
On the run, it's Barkley. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Jameis to throw it. That's complete. He's got Barkley out of the backfield. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. It's a gain of 11 and a giant first down. Big hook up there, forced to throw it on third down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up the pass. The clock keeps running on you. You're in a dire situation now.
Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. On first down, Barkley. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
So they come up on 2nd down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. They'll go to Barkley again. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. That one, a first down pickup of 8. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. We're not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. This is Barkley. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
So statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a running game going. But, boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right. You look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game. On 2nd down, Barkley. He juked him, and he's got some space here. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A gain there of 30 big ones. I guess he was saving his best for last, so to speak. Longest run of the day coming here in the 4th quarter right there.
And that type of run makes for a better night for him and his teammates, doesn't it? To be able to produce this late in the game can lead to some big smiles and satisfaction in the locker room after this one's over.
So plenty of smiles for the folks here as they head for the exits. It's a victory for their hometown guys. And not all W's are created equal, CD, and this one came in shutout fashion.
Well, their offense certainly didn't need to do anything, right? They could take the day off, and they did. But the defense, they carried them in a big way.
Yeah, look, the offense obviously stuff to work on, but they did enough, and the defense carried the load.
But you know what they say? It's always fun to work on things if it didn't go well in your game, with a victory in your pocket, and that's what they've got going forward.
So for the home team here, you can't ask for a better start as they pitch a shutout here in the opener. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Green Bay Packers. Meanwhile, for the Lions, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.